We are live. We are live, baby. We are live. Ney Ney's Nonsense Show, episode 16. We in the building.
Well, yes.
Well, yes. You heard what Sis said.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I thought she was giving me that one.
Yes.
There we go. We are live. We are live for our episode 16 of the Ney Ney's Nonsense Show. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today, this evening, on our Kwanzaa special, our Kwanzaa edition. We will be celebrating Kwanzaa today, even though it's a celebration that lasts for 7 days. It starts today, December 26th, and we're going to start the conversation and the celebration today on Ney Ney's Nonsense. Yes, I feel good about it. I feel so good about it. I want to get started with the conversation. Thank you all again for joining us. If you're joining us via Instagram, shout out to you. If you're joining us from YouTube, shout out to you too. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video and the channel. Okay, let's get the conversation started. So, again, happy Kwanzaa to everybody. Today is December 26th, 2022. I just cannot believe how the year is flying by. It's crazy to me, but it is December 26th, 2022, and it's the first day of Kwanzaa, and I wanted to do a show on Kwanzaa, on the significant holiday, because I honestly started to celebrate this freshly myself a couple years ago. So I was raised in the Christian family, so I always did Christmas. As we know, that is like the thing to do in America, right? That's the holiday that they promote. So that's all I really knew growing up. I heard of Kwanzaa, but you know, my family didn't really implement the celebration and the traditions in my household. So as a grown woman, when I met my husband, who is now my husband now, he celebrates Kwanzaa, and he introduced this all to me. So I started to celebrate this holiday 2 years ago, and this is my first Kanara set. Look at my first little Kanara set. Okay, got my little Kanara set with my candles in my wooden cup, and we're gonna talk about what they mean and all of that. But yeah, that's why I wanted to talk about this holiday, because we don't really hear much about it. And like, you know, we don't get taught about it growing up. So I decided to bless you guys with some information about Kwanzaa. And maybe next year you guys can celebrate, because it's not really a religious celebration. It's more about giving homage to the African American community, and like having faith, and like just pouring into our community and pouring into each other, and just practicing unity and things like that. So that's why I wanted to have this particular topic today about Kwanzaa, because it is freshly new to me as well. So we are all learning together here. So if you have something that you know that I might know, feel free to drop it in the comments, because like I said, we're learning together. What they say in Precious, each one teach one. We got to teach each other, okay? We got to teach each other. So if you know something that I don't know, if I'm talking about some things regarding the celebration of Kwanzaa, then let me know. Thank you guys so much for joining. I see you guys pouring in. Hey. Make sure you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. The link is in the bio of my Instagram. And if you are catching this later on YouTube, shout out to you too. Make sure you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, so we're gonna move on. All right, Kwanzaa, that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about Kwanzaa. Now, Kwanzaa is a unique African American cultural holiday celebrating the rich heritage of people of African ancestry. Now, I already said I'm learning this with you guys, so I will be reading my notes. I do not have these things memorized. I did not celebrate Kwanzaa growing up, so these things that I will be telling you guys, I pretty much learned recently, like this week, last week, preparing for this podcast. So, I mean, I'm grateful for the opportunity because it's helping me learn more about it as well. So it was founded in 1966 by a cultural activist and Black studies professor by the name of Dr. Maulana Karenga. Dr. Karenga's goal was to unite the African American community by strengthening the family structure and improve its self-image by linking the community with strong African American role models. Now, when I read that and I discovered this information, I was like, wow. So Dr. Karenga found this in 1966, and his goal was to unite us as African Americans and to improve our family structure, right? And also improve how we look at it how we look at each other and ourselves, like by having positive role models. And I feel like that's something that we need today too, right? Like, it's crazy how the mission in 1966 is still the mission now in 2022/2023. Like, we are on the cusp, the cusp of a new year. And the goals of this intelligent doctor, professor, activist, the goals that this doctor had back then is the same goals that we have now. I mean, it's kind of sad, but it also, makes me feel that this topic it needs to be talked about. It needs to be talked about, and we need to celebrate it more, because at the end of the day, all these things that they were striving to accomplish in 1966 with this holiday, we still need to work on right now to this day.
Yeah, baby.
Yes, baby.
Well, yes.
It's true. Super true. Kwanzaa is observed over a 7-day period, which starts today, December 26th, and it ends on January 1st. The word Kwanzaa is a East African Swahili word meaning first fruits. Kwanzaa is based on an African traditional celebration of harvest, where an entire village celebrates and shares the rewards of the land. So today is the official start date of Kwanzaa. Today we are focusing on umoja, which means unity. That's what today represents. Kwanzaa is focused around 7 principles. Now, if you're catching on now, you're like, 7 days, 7 principles. It's a lot of 7s. Okay, it's a lot of 7s going on. Keep that in mind. Kwanzaa is focused around 7 principles during these 7 days. The first is unity, umoja. Next is self-determination. Now, this Swahili word I have a problem saying. I've been practicing all day and I still can't get it right. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to take a sip first. We know it's self-determination. That's what it means. But, I don't want to embarrass myself, child. Kuchi Aguwala. I'm going to just say that. If you know how to say it better than me, kudos to you. I'm going to keep practicing. Next, we have collective work and responsibility, which is represented by the Swahili word ujima. Then we have nia, which is purpose. That's cute. Nia. Then we have kuwamba, which is creativity. We have ujamaa, which is cooperative economics. And last but not least, we have imani, which represents faith. Again, we said before, the number 7 is being said a lot with this holiday. Now, the number 7 runs through Kwanzaa in that there are 7 symbols, there are 7 candles, there are 7 days, there are 7 principles. I feel good about that. Now, the 7 symbols of the holiday are crops, a mat. Now, if you see here, I do have a mat that came with my Kanara. I'm not sure. Yeah, this is the mat that came with my Kanara here. A candle holder, the corn, unity cup, which is here. You're not supposed to really drink from it, but it signifies unity cup. Gifts and the 7 candles. So, of these 7 candles, there are the 3 red, which are always placed on the left of the black center candle. Ooh, you know what I just realized, y'all? I got it positioned wrong. Yes, I do. Because it's supposed to be, the red is supposed to be on the left. And then the green is supposed to be on the right. On the right side. See, we learned it together. So we're going to go ahead and switch that thing on up. Because it's live. We live. This is what I love about my show. You get the live me. Okay? So the red is supposed to be on the left, which I had wrong. Well, you know, the positive thing about that is that today's the first day of Kwanzaa. So my family and I, since last year, have officially celebrating it in my own home. We light the candles each night. After explaining to my 2 toddlers, or trying to explain to them what the principle is for the day, I have them repeat it after me in Swahili, and I have them repeat it after me in English as well. Hoping that it'll stick, right? Because repetition, usually that's how we learn. So, the 3 red are going to be on the left, and always on the left of this black candle. Right? The red candles represent the struggle for equality and freedom of African Americans. Now, the 3 green that are always going to be on the right of that centered black candle represents the land and hope for the future. So the green represents our green land back in Africa. Okay? And the hope for the future. Maybe we get back there and be in our glory and it's love. I don't know, but we're gonna have hope for the future. Just hope for us as a people, prosperity, success. You know. And last but not least is the black in the center. Is always going to be in the middle. That's the easy part. The black candle is always going to be in the middle, and it represents unity. So we have struggle for equality and freedom. We have land and hope for future. And then we have unity in the middle. It's deep. I feel good about it. How y'all feel about it? I feel real good about it. I feel real good about it. As I continue to learn and learn more and more, I love it even more. And I wish that it was promoted more on a national basis, but we'll get there. We'll get there one day.
Yes.
We will get there one day. You know, God got us.
Give me a Y. Give me an E. Give me an F. Yeah.
Yes, for Kwanzaa. Okay. So during this 7-day celebration, a candle is lit each day, representing a different principle. Now today, as I explained to you a little while ago, we light the center candle, which is the black candle here. You can see it now. This is how they do on TikTok and stuff when they showing the stuff. This is the black candle. We're going to be lighting this tonight for Umoja. Umoja, which means unity. Today, we will reflect on unity, striving to maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and our heritage. And you know, I had plans on lighting that candle, but I didn't bring my lighter downstairs. Well, in my studio. And that's okay, because I'm supposed to really light it with my family. Even though you guys are my family, Nene's Nonsense family, you guys are my tribe. I did not bring it down here, so I do apologize. However, we're going to light it. We're going to pretend that we're lighting that thing. And when you do light the candle, you want to make sure that you're doing it with intention, right? Like you are trying to get your frequency together. You need to like make sure that your frequencies, your vibe, your spirit, all of that is geared towards unity of your family, of the community that we live in. We just got to have that vibe, right? To force that energy into the universe. So when we do this tonight, we will light this candle with intention of unity in our community. And we're going to focus our attention on ushering good vibes and only good vibes for the year ahead. Okay? Only good vibes for the year ahead. That's it. That's all we want. So tonight I'm going to be lighting that candle with my children and my husband, and we are going to speak unity into the world. We are. So I know I explained to you guys that we have 7 principles over the next 7 days, right? Today we're focusing on unity. Today I've been trying to focus on unity. I've been trying to keep that as the forefront thought of in my head, like. And sometimes, you get a little, we're human, right? So sometimes you get distracted and you're like, oh damn, it's Kwanzaa. I should be thinking about, I need to be thinking about unity. I need to think about, you know what I mean? Like that's how I try to go through this holiday. Like each day I really try to hone in on the principle, and I try to do a couple things that day that gives that principle a purpose. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So the next principle I said earlier, self-determination. You're going to make sure that you are intentionally lighting that candle, and you are intentionally thinking about self-determination, not just for your family, not just for yourself, but for the rest of the African American community, right? We have to think about how to define ourselves, how to create for ourselves, and how to speak for ourselves. It's a whole word. It's a whole word. Okay, then we have Ujima, which is the collective work and responsibility, right? This is when you want to hone in on how to build and maintain our communities together and make our sisters and brothers' problems our problems and solve them together. And I feel that, this speaks so much value to me because, again, this was founded in 1966. And these principles that we are speaking about have been in writing, in stone, since 1966. If we were all practicing this as African Americans, I think we might be better as people. I think we might be better. We might be more, unified. We just might be more together. You're making your sisters and your brother problems your problems, and you solve them together. Now, we're not talking about the toxic brothers and sisters. We talk about the brothers and sisters that's really trying out here and all of that. Like, we got to have each other back. Don't hate. Appreciate and support each other. Okay? Now, December 29th, we're going to be focusing on cooperative economics to build and maintain our own stores, our own shops, and other businesses. Period. Like, and to profit from them together. Like other races do it. We have so much talent. Black people are amazing. People want to be like us all the time. Right? Like, we are it. Like, we have to really stop thinking so small. And I'm not saying because I know some people that don't think small. And kudos to y'all. But I need the rest of us. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself. Please, please. Because I'll be the first to pour into you. Like, you can do it. You got this. Don't let nobody make you feel like you're inferior to anybody. Like, you have that. Next is Nia, which is purpose. And we want to hone in. This is the 5th principle. You want to hone into making sure that we have development in our community, and we have some type of order to restore our people back to traditional greatness. Now, this speaks volumes to me as well, because I feel like I try to do this a lot. I try to, remind my viewers, my followers of our purpose, and how much greatness we have within ourselves, and making sure that we remember our ancestors. Like, they was that. Like, our ancestors probably was a little bit gullier than us. You know what I mean? They had to go through a lot more stuff, a lot of different trials and tribulations than we ever had to even experience. So shout out to our ancestors, and shout out to the traditions that they have made for us. Regardless if some of us might forget them or not, we have to pay homage to them. They paved the way, and one day we're gonna be somebody's ancestors, child. So we have to make sure our children know the importance of traditions and paying respect to your ancestors. Day number 6 is all about creativity. This is my favorite day because I like to create my podcast, creating my reels. I like to act. I like to model. Like, I'm a creative person. I'm a creative thinker. That's always been me. This is my day number 6. And you hone in to always do as much as you can in the way that you can in order to leave our community more beautiful and more beneficial than we inherited it. Y'all ain't hear what I said. Like, that was deep. It spoke to me. Like, maybe because I have children and other people that are watching out here, I know some of you guys have children as well. So maybe it speaks a little bit differently to us. Like, we have to pour into this world and pour into the next generation so that we leave it better for them. Pretty much. More beautiful and more beneficial. That's the goal. And day number 7, we practice Imani, which is faith. And that's just to believe with your heart that our parents, our people, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle, just to believe in all our heart that we are together in all of this, and have faith that we're going to rise above it. We have faith that it's going to be better days, just to have faith. So those are the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Deep stuff. Deep stuff. And these principles are not things that, you want to just focus on during these 7 days of Kwanzaa. You want to focus on these things throughout the whole year. And like I said, when you're lighting these candles, you're lighting them with the intentions of that principle. So tonight, I'm going to light with the intentions of having more unity in my life with my family and my friends and whoever else, But that's just something that you just kind of keep in mind all year round, just like Christmas, right? Like the things that we know about Christmas, being grateful and giving gifts and making people feel special and having family time. Those are things that we do around Christmas, but we should also not forget about throughout the whole year as well, right? So I feel like a lot of these holidays are great ways to remember the values that you should have in your life, for sure. Now let's talk about these gifts. I know you're probably like, okay, girl, Kwanzaa is deep. It signifies a lot. But my kids know about the gifts because the kids know Christmas. Look, I get it. I got 2 toddlers. I get it. And I was raised in a household, we celebrate Christmas every year. So marrying a man that did not celebrate Christmas, and I had to figure out how I was going to raise my kids and all of that, I get it. You want to know about the gifts? Me too. I want to know about it too. So here we go. So, like many other holidays around this time, Kwanzaa incorporates gift giving just like any other holiday, right? But they particularly exchange it on New Year's Day, the last day, January 1st. We call gifts I'm sorry, I'm looking down because it's a lot of Swahili words here, and I don't know them by heart. Zawadi means gifts in Swahili. Now, with Kwanzaa gifts, we like to prioritize gift giving that is meaningful and tied to African heritage, and often handmade. Now, that was hard for me because my best friend who's watching, shout out to you, best friend. She's very hands on, just very creative with her hands. Like, she could think of something and make it, and get the stuff and make it. I'm creative with like other things, not hand making things. So she might have to help me with that. But when I heard that, these Kwanzaa gifts had to be handmade, I said, oh Lord, what am I going to make my kids? I don't know how to sew. I don't know how to knit. I don't know how to do none of that. So yeah, I don't really know any of that. But I also did learn, reading and preparing for my show today, that they can also be educational gifts, or any gifts that really signifies or magnifies a principle in Kwanzaa, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, so I could buy my daughter something that makes her hone into her purpose, right? Or I could buy something for my son that creates self-determination. Like, he loves puzzles, so I'm just going to start buying him a whole bunch of puzzles. I don't care if it says 8+, he's only 5. I don't care. He's already knocking out 6 and 7-year-old puzzles right now. He's only 4. So I'm just going to start just buying him more and more, helping him be more determined and just, yeah. So I would say that they don't have to always be handmade. Sorry, I was making sure my Kanara was straight. But they don't have to be always handmade. If you're not, crafty like me, that's okay. Just try to put some thought into it. Don't just buy a gift card. Don't just buy some clothes. Try to get something educational for the kids, or try to get something nice for your friend that it's going to pour into whatever, like something deep. It got to be Kwanzaa gifts. I feel like they have to have thought behind it, for sure. So the gifts, again, like I said, they must align with the principles, and the principles actually are called, another Swahili word. I'm not trying to mess it up. Nguzo Saba. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that in a little bit too much. It's probably a little silent. Nguzo Saba. Yeah, Nguzo Saba. The seven principles. So year after year, Kwanzaa challenges those who celebrate to get creative, right? Like I just said, I'm not creative at all. About finding the symbols that can reflect on our heritage and our African tradition. For sure. Some Kwanzaa gifts can range from storybooks. That's some things I definitely want to get my children. Lots and lots of more books that will teach children about their ancestry. And even some interactive experiences for the family can also be great gifts to give for Kwanzaa as well. So anything that pours into the children, mind-wise, spirit-wise, you want to make sure you do that. Anything that brings the family together and creates memories will definitely be a go-to for Kwanzaa. For sure. I think my battery died on my chair. Oh, here we go. It's alive now. I'm still alive. The button said I'm still alive. Oh God, I can't. So, how do you guys feel about Kwanzaa? I know that was a lot of information. We talked about the number 7 and how it is symbolized in the African heritage celebration of Kwanzaa. We talked about, what the 7 symbols are, right? We have the candles, the candle holder, the candle holder, the mat, the cup, the crops, the harvest, and the gifts. Ooh, look at me. 7. Period.
Well, yes.
Well, yes, that's what happens. Okay? When you want to learn, that's what happens. You got to retain that information, baby. You understand?
Yes.
I hope you guys have learned some things, because I know I definitely have. I know that I learned I got to get some crops for my Kwanzaa setup. I got to get, some corn and things like that from the harvest to really finish my Kwanzaa setup. But tonight we are going to be lighting the middle black candle for unity for the first day of Kwanzaa. And I'm just so happy about it. I'm so glad I did this show. And I want you guys to check back here on my Instagram. I want you guys to check back here every day this week. So I'm going to try to capture my experience, at least lighting a candle with my family every day, or letting you guys understand and get a glimpse a little bit more of what the principle is for the day. So I'm definitely going to remind you guys each day this week what the principle is, what you should be focusing on, what candle you should be lighting. So stay tuned, check in. If you don't follow me, follow me. If you don't like or subscribe my YouTube, please do so now after this live video. You can go to my Instagram page under my bio and click that good old link, like and subscribe, and you won't ever miss an episode of good old me. And also on my YouTube channel, I have other content that is not on my Instagram, so it's kind of exclusive. It's kind of exclusive, so go ahead and like and subscribe, please. This is going to be wrapping up our Kwanzaa special. But again, please stay tuned to my Instagram stories this week, because I'm going to be posting what the principle is each day, what it means, what we should be doing and focusing on, things of that nature. My hopes for Kwanzaa. That's how I wanted to wrap up the show. And that's all I put on my notes, because I wanted my thoughts to be sincere and from the heart. My hopes for Kwanzaa this year is that I celebrated better than I did last year. My hopes for Kwanzaa, honestly, in my own family, is to make it like a thing, because it's not really a thing in America. So I'm trying to build up the anticipation, and I'm trying to get my Kwanzaa decor and decorations up. But they're very, very slim to none out here in stores and Etsy and everything else. So if you are someone who makes things, or somebody who does, tell them next year to hone in on Kwanzaa, because a lot of us don't have Kwanzaa things to buy. Kwanzaa lights, Kwanzaa whatever, I had a hard time. So my hopes for Kwanzaa is that, I try to staple it into my kids' mind a little bit more this year. And I know that my Kwanzaa decorations are better this year. They are. I got things in my yard that I didn't have. I got things in my front door. I'm starting to get better now that I'm celebrating for sure every year. So I definitely just want the plethora of decorations to be available for us. I want it to be more publicized. I want us to celebrate it as African American people. We could do Christmas and Kwanzaa. Like I said, Kwanzaa is not a religious thing. It's more about art for us, and it was by us, for us. If you have any African heritage in you, it's for you. So that's what I want to see. I want to see schools start to incorporate it more. I want to see our children start to learn about it more. I want us to, again, celebrate it more, and I want to learn more each and every year. And I've definitely learned more this year for sure, especially hosting the show on the topic. So that is episode 16, the Kwanzaa special, Mimi's Nonsense. Yes, that is the Kwanzaa special. I wanted to let you guys know about my advice email. It is also in my bio, Ney Ney's Nonsense Show at gmail.com. Again, that is Ney Ney's Nonsense Show at gmail.com. Now, any stories, questions, whatever, feedback will remain anonymous on my show. I will read it on my show. I will say it's anonymous unless you say I want you to say my name. I don't care, whatever the case may be. Then I'll say your name. But other than that, I will leave it anonymous. We'll speak about your topic. I'll give you my advice. You take it and or you don't. But I want you to send that good old question in, or that problem, or whatever. It don't have to be relationships. It could be friends. It could be family. It could be job, careers, whatever. And you know what else I just thought about? I just said jobs, careers, whatever. Like I actually went through a really, I'm not going to say like really bad because it wasn't that bad, but it was a personal letdown career wise. So Kwanzaa couldn't be coming around. Like it's just coming around at the perfect time, because I feel like these principles are going to remind me of my self-worth. Because sometimes corporate America or America can make us forget about that, right? They could make us think that we're not worthy, and we are. We are the shit.
Yes.
Period. Okay, so make sure you guys use the Ney Ney's Nonsense Show at gmail.com email for anything you guys need. Advice. If you want to be a host on my show, well, not host because I'm the host, big baby, but the co-host. You want to be a co-host with me? Email me. You have any interesting topics you want me to speak on, touch on? Email me. Let's get it. Let's work.
Give me a Y. Give me an E. Give me an F. Yeah.
I just added my own little 2 cents to that. I'm feeling good. Listen, that's it. That's all I have for you guys. But let me tell you something. Next month, because you know I do a monthly show now. In January, we have a banging coming for you. It's a whole banger. It's a whole bang. I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to say follow Whitney Siobhan _ the brand on Instagram, and or like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, which the link is in my bio, and you will be up on all the sauce for January. That Ney Ney's Nonsense has coming your way. But I'm telling you, you will not be dissatisfied. We have a hell of a show coming in January, so stay tuned for the promo, baby. And that wraps up episode 16. That's the Kwanzaa episode. I hope you guys learned something. I hope I, encourage you to want to look more into the holiday, maybe celebrate it. Hey, I know one thing I plan on doing is I plan on having Kwanzaa dinners for sure. I'm probably going to definitely have one next year. I probably won't do one this year, but next year I definitely want to have a Kwanzaa dinner, which is not unheard of in the holiday. That's how we usually end the holiday, by having a good Happy New Year, by having a dinner, and just everyone just giving each other grace and being grateful and just being loving and things like that. So, maybe one day we could have a Ney Ney's Nonsense in-person Kwanzaa dinner. Because those in-person events is coming down the pipeline in 2023. So just stay tuned. Okay? Love you so much. Thank you so much for joining me. Those who support me, I appreciate you so much. Please like and subscribe to the YouTube, okay? Because the girl trying to do this full time, baby. Now, God bless and good night. We rolling now.